Welcome to another episode of GQ Speaks, your go-to platform for insightful conversations, captivating stories, and thought-provoking discussions. GQ is a series of experiences, and we're just making sense of that as we go along. That is what we're doing here, one conversation at a time. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into our episode.
Hey. Okay, are you ready, Panos? Should we start?
Sure, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And thank you to GQ Speaks for inviting both me and Panos and giving us this platform to have a conversation about student government, recent elections. I'm going to start off. My name is Ali. I am a senior, so I'm graduating in like a week now. And I am serving as the 20th president of Georgetown Qatar Student Government. And the other guest here is Panos. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Panos. I just got elected as the new president, the 21st SGA president last week, and I'm a junior, so I have one more year in Georgetown.
Well, rising senior now in 10 days.
Yeah, rising senior in 10 days. Yeah, it's a bit stressful, but yeah.
Panos, I want to start by saying almost like this time last year, I would say like a week, not a week, we got elected on the same day, 16th April. A week before that, I remember you and I had a conversation because you were one of the first people I told that I'm running for president. And it was, Ali, you're never going to be president. And a year after that, look at us both. Like, I served as president. You're going to now be the next president. So I would ask, like, what changed in a year?
You know, I think honestly, when I saw you getting elected, because I know you as a person as well, and I know that you have like both a mature side, but at the same time you have an unserious side in you that
Yeah,
like brings some fun in the position. I
yeah,
thought that this will be treated as a disadvantage like a year ago.
yeah,
But then when I saw you winning, and then I saw you last year actually doing stuff, I was actually hearing, like I was in DC for a semester and they were telling me, oh, Ali did this, Ali did that, Karak Wednesdays, for example. Then Georgetown, like, what, that Georgetown, not Georgetown Day, huh?
when we went to CMU.
Yeah, CMU, yeah, exactly. Like all this, even Hoya Welcome Week, when you made your speech, snow dunes, all these activities were like organized by the current SGA, by technically you. So I thought that, you know, like I like that Ali can do this, and because I know we have a similar personality,
Yeah,
maybe I should try as well.
yeah. So at any point were you like, what was the first reactions of your friends when you told them like, hey, I'm gonna be running?
When I told them I'm gonna be running, they were laughing at me. Like when I told them, no, when I told them I'm gonna be running, they were making fun of me.
Yeah,
Then, especially remember when it was like, I mean, think about this. It started like as kind of a joke. Like I was when you were going around to ask if anyone has a complaint during in the atrium before the uni closed.
mm,
I was coming with you, introducing myself as a future president for fun, like so they can laugh a bit, so we can all laugh a bit. I didn't take this seriously in the beginning, but then I don't know. It actually motivated me to do more because from these small discussions, we actually got to know a lot about what the students want and what they need.
yeah. No, yeah, 100%. So how was like talk to me about more like about your campaign, like how stressed were you? Like what was your biggest concerns? Like in your heart, who did you think was gonna win?
Okay. So the campaign week I would say it was incredibly stressful. Like in the beginning, I told myself like, I hope I'm gonna take it a bit easy because I know I'm getting stressed with these type of things. So I didn't know. First of all, I've never campaigned like that before, so I didn't know what to do. Like I had to improvise from scratch. To be honest, because of the condition that everything was closed, and I thought I was expecting a campaign when I was advocating 2 months ago. I thought campaign was gonna be a real person. I thought I was gonna be able to talk to the students and listen to them and actually give my plans. I didn't get the chance to do that. Everything was from a screen. It was harder. There was a incredible lack of interaction.
Mm,
So even a few days before the elections, I seriously considered, should I do it? Because
mm.
like that's not the conditions I expected, and this is not the conditions I wanted for a campaign and for an election. Because it loses the magic, it loses
Yeah,
the
fair.
warmth. You don't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
So,
So,
but
but
then
you still gave
sorry,
yourself a shot. You still were like, yeah, I can still win.
yeah, you see, in the beginning I thought I wasn't really thinking about winning. I realized that the competition is gonna be hard. I knew Alia was running, Nasir was running. I don't know about Basel.
Mm,
So I knew that from the start that it's gonna be a tough year to win the elections. Like in terms of election wise, it will definitely be hard.
mm,
Like it will definitely be hard. But then, as campaigning was going on, I wanted to make people laugh. Like
yeah.
I wanted to give them a real sense of who I am and what I will do.
Mm,
So I think that one side of a campaign is definitely to promote your goals and your ideas, but the other side has to be okay. Like I don't want the students to be bored.
yeah.
Like you can post a poster, you can post some of the plans, but if you prioritize only that side,
Yeah.
then where's the fun?
100%. Yeah.
So that's when me and Adina, in fact, came up with an idea.
Yeah.
Came up with an idea of recording a video like the one I uploaded, which was we're gonna have a couple of students say some like fun stories by the way, most of them are not even true. They're just like pure to
100%.
make people
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and say like why should they vote from in like a joking way.
Yeah.
So that idea, I remember we came up with that idea on I think it was Monday, like Monday, yeah, and then we had to like do everything by I think the video was uploaded Tuesday night. So that day I remember I was like I texted 150 students during that time. Like I'm not even joking, Ali. I think it was I don't think I've talked to so many people at like such a short period of time. I don't know how to explain it, like truly. It was crazy.
So okay, you don't have to answer this, but if obviously, like I remember when I was campaigning, there's still always a part of you that feel like, okay, you know what, maybe I don't think you're like I'm gonna win, right? You, who did you consider like, okay, you know, if I'm not gonna win this person, it's gonna be like this person's actually gonna win it.
I thought honestly all three candidates had
Yeah,
an advantage.
be the
No,
player.
wait. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll be honest. Wait,
Yeah,
give me a
to be
second.
honest.
Okay, wait. I thought Basel,
Mm,
Basel is the same age as me.
yeah.
Like he's been in the university the same amount as me. This definitely had an advantage in terms of campaigning.
Mm,
In terms of campaigning, he was like he didn't do as much compared to others. He did the website, which was amazing. Like
yeah.
which was great, by the way. I read over the website, but on these things, you don't expect too many students to actually join the WhatsApp link and read over the website. Like they're not gonna bother and do that. So I knew that Basel won't. They wouldn't. Not many people would know that he would run because he doesn't have Instagram as well, and Instagram is a very big tool when it comes to campaigning.
Mm.
Then I saw Nasser. Nasser, he's a freshman. After you know what, Nasser is a great kid. Okay, like
Yeah,
I thought she has solid chances, honestly.
yeah,
But after the debate, man, honestly, after I saw the debate,
yeah.
that honestly, he was first of all he was targeting me. But okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
It happens.
It's the way. It's the way you talk. Like you need to talk under a certain way. You cannot be talking like that. Like he was trying to make a joke out of it, which is nice. Like there is fun definitely, but at the same time you need to stand on business on this type of things. So after that, I thought that some people would not would not like his behavior during the debate.
Okay.
Like it would be misinterpreted.
Mm.
Because not everyone knows Nasser like we do. Like we thought it was a joke and everything, but others won't think that this is a joke. They would think that it's a bit like immature of him to do that during the debate. And then Alia in my eyes did a great campaign.
Yeah.
Like as good as me, I would say. She was every day. She was like posting stuff. She posted a couple of reels. Like she was interacting a lot with the audience. So Alia, I would say, even though she's new, she did a great campaign,
Yeah.
both WhatsApp and Instagram, and she definitely promoted herself and her campaign better than
Yeah.
Basel and Nasser.
Yeah.
Like she did a lot. I could say that she even posted more stuff than me. Like
Mm.
she was approaching a lot of students. She was telling them their ideas. She was trying. She did make a couple of reels that were actually like got a lot of likes as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought Alia could definitely maybe has the highest chance of winning
Mm.
because of that, purely because of campaign as well. All of them have skills, all of them are good, but how you promote yourself during this week, you need to put effort. And I think I saw more effort in terms of like audience from Alia than
Mm.
what I saw from Basel and Nasser.
Yeah. And but how do you feel when you found out that okay, you won the election, but you were running on like what's considered a joint ticket, even though it's not a joint ticket because you can vote separately. But you're and it happened the same case last year that I got elected. And then the person that I was running with as VP did not win. Yasmin won. The person I was running with for PRO did not win. Algeria won. And it's the same case in your scenario. Masoon run independently, and who's the chief of staff? It was Malek and Bashar as PRO, right? You did not run with them on ticket, so you also have an SGA that campaigned separately. How do you look at that?
Honestly, I knew that Malak and Basar campaigned together.
Mm,
And I knew that because I know them both personally. I
mm,
know like these two girls. I would say that I've had a couple of interactions, and I know that we can collaborate well.
yeah.
Like I know that at the end of the day, we shared already some ideas. I already had an interview with Malak before
Mm,
about Hoya World Cup. So I know these girls, and they look friendly. They look like they work, and most importantly, they look like they want the best out of the university, same way as I do.
yeah.
Now, Maysoon, to be honest, I have never interacted with, from what I remember.
Mm,
I don't really know her personally,
mm,
but I do think that because at the end of the day, SGAs, they all of them have the same mindset. All
yeah.
of them, no matter what the approach is,
Mm,
what's the goal. The goal of all the members should be the same. Should
mm,
be that we need to do everything in our hands to fulfill the demands of the students, the requests,
mm,
because at the end of the day, we represent the students, and
mm,
we should do that right.
mm.
That should be our mindset, all four of us. And I think if all of us stand on business and we actually have that, then we will do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know my son as well, I'm sure we're gonna talk about it more, and we're gonna figure a common path.
And no, like I agree with you. I'm sure like Maysoon is the best candidate. I mean, clearly because she won. And in my case, like I cannot think of a better VP to have than Yasmin, even though I did not run with Yasmin on a ticket. And like so, like honestly, it's good that you have like full confidence in Maysoon, and also when you put confidence in them, you're putting confidence in the people who voted for them, and those are the same people that have also chosen you to represent. So what is the thing that you're excited about the most, like an initiative that you want to take, or in general something that you're very looking forward to, like over not I'm not speaking over the summer, like when you go back in August and fall when you start and when you're on campus, like what's one thing you're very very excited about?
Um, do you mean in terms of like plans I have,
In terms of
or
anything, in terms of like what do you think is going to be different in the regular GQ life for you now because you have this position?
I think Ali being a president is it's all of us have students of like all of the students have sometimes they have ideas. Oh, I would want this better, or
Mm,
I would want this better,
mm,
or I wish that exists in Georgetown, that exists in other universities, and we don't have.
mm,
As a student, you might have like these ideas, but there isn't much where you can do because it's not in your power to do so. So I think the big difference now, walking in next year,
Mm.
I know that, not only my ideas, but other students' ideas, I can actually do something about it. I
Yeah,
can pitch in. I can pitch into Dean Ken. I can pitch into no to anyone because being a president carries a weight.
yeah,
Like it wouldn't be the same if you work as a student
yeah,
whereas if you work as a student body president. And I think you know that yourself. Like the power you have and the not the power in a bad way, the authority where you can actually have over the staff where you can actually your word matters more. I would say
mm.
because the title itself is gonna be a motive for them to hear you out more. Especially if you go with a nice, like an idea where you can pitch it, where you can actually
Yeah,
present it very well with them.
yeah.
So I think that's the biggest difference. That's the biggest difference from last year.
And with that, like, yeah, I do agree with you, but with that sort of influence, if you have over, like, if you reach out, if an email with, let's say, reaching out as president, I do agree with you, it has more influence, but then that also becomes tricky because if you're out of the 10 things that you receive, if you're reaching out with all 10, slowly that influence also loses value because I think that's probably one of the hardest things to do is that some things are just really really difficult to pull off or are just really not possible or out of your scope, and you have to decide whether you still want to push it up to the administration or not, because if you're constantly pushing up things and they're like, dude, like, we can't do this is not possible, then they stop taking you seriously. Then they stop taking you as someone, okay, he actually knows how things work around, how, things are actually done here. So, like, I agree, like, the influence part is there, but the influence remains as, it just remains proportionate to how you are doing your job, if that makes sense. Because you could have amazing influence with the title, and you could also lose all influence if they don't see you as someone who's serious about the job. So is there anything, I mean, you really did not see most of the last year because the first semester you were in DC. When you came back, you only saw January and mid-Feb, so a month and a half, and then all of this happened. You have seen SGA online over the course of since we've gone online. What out of either your own experience that you've seen or heard, what is something that you've picked up and you're like, okay, this is what I want to do differently when I become president, or like over the course of the
During you mean assuming that uni will continue being online, or you mean
oh,
in
maybe
person?
that you're going back in person,
What
or
what what what's different?
you can talk about different.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do like a lot the accessibility that the current SGA has.
Mm.
What I would do differently is I personally think there is some ideas I have that have not been implemented yet, and I think they could actually make it's mostly academically and
Mm.
career wise that if I do have some ideas and I do think they are feasible to happen, and if they do happen, it will be more convenient for the students. For example, as I personally told you earlier, I think having for example writing sessions for CPN zones
Yeah.
through the writing center, I think it's very easy to happen. And honestly, it's something that at the end of the day, most of the people in Georgetown apply for this kind of trips, and they don't. What's the structure? You never know what you did wrong. The
Mm.
feedback is unclear, it's broad, sometimes there is not even a feedback. So
Mm.
hosting some sessions like this with the writing center with Kerry and her team, I think it would be amazing for the students. It would be convenient. That's one idea. Then another thing that you went through as well, for example, is the visa process. The visa process is a huge thing. Like especially now with Trump administration, the situation is very tough.
Yeah.
So we need to inform the students about what is realistic to happen and what is not. When I went to my the host the visa information session a year ago, only thing they told me is the dangers that America carries. about the process. How am I gonna get my I-20? Anything like that?
Mm, mm,
Nothing essential. And then
mm,
I spent all my summer wondering what files do I get. I had to go to every single department in uni to figure out what files should I submit and
mm.
where. And like, it's a very complicated process. So we should look at that as well. And anyway, these small details, I think, that they are very feasible to happen. That's what I want to do. I want the future generations to avoid having the mistakes the mistakes that I faced. I don't want them to face the problems I did as a student. That's my goal as a president.
No, so I mean, we're hoping that it does go back in person, but
Hopefully.
in the scenario that you choose to remain online, is that something like? Have you given that any thought? That okay, how would your presidency look like if it's completely online?
Listen, to be honest, I don't think anyone wants to imagine another a bit more time online
Yeah.
because even like no matter I truly think that we can definitely host some activities as SGA to make things more fun, but at the end of the day, like being in home would be the students would not be attending these events, at
Mm,
least for the most part, and even the ones that they do so, they would still gonna go back because they are gonna be missing the community, the amazing community that we have. Like
yeah.
I will try, even if, no matter what the condition is, I will try to do my best to make the experience like good for the students. I know for as online, I didn't really spend too much thought on it because I really believe that we will be going back, and hopefully, man, that's gonna happen. Because even me, I hate this. What we're doing right now is really not nice,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's it's not the best situation for
Bro,
anyone, I'd say.
like and I really hope like you actually get to be in person because it is pretty sad. Like we the whole campaign could have been in person. We could have had a debate proper in person. Even though like I'm really really grateful for our community that somehow we still managed to pull it off no matter how it looked. The fact that we still somehow had 300 something votes out of 520.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regarding that now, this was something that was told to me when I became when I became president. We had a similar amount of votes like in the last election as well. The last election was 297, and this election was 307. So like 10 more votes this time.
Wow.
Roughly
Okay.
more, 10 increase point, roughly similar amount. And what was told to me was like, at the end of the day, the number, let's say in your case, of total amount of students at Georgetown is like 527, right?
Yeah.
You still have 200-ish students who did not even like say their opinion on it, right? How do you now loop in people to be like, okay, Panos is the president of GQSGA, especially people who either are not concerned about SGA, do not really look into SGA, or also people who've not voted for you, who voted for other candidates as well.
What I would say in this is that I knew that, of course, winning it wouldn't secure me 100% of the votes, but when I was campaigning as well, what I told the students, I never asked, like, it's not like I would never pressure anyone to vote for me. Emotionally, never. Like, I would never do that stuff. I would inform them that I'm running, and, like, if they can vote for me, I would appreciate it, but I would never pressure them. At the end of the day, no matter who they vote, and even like it's their choice, and I would still represent them in the case I win. Like, okay, I won the elections, no matter if you didn't vote at all. If you vote for someone else, I will be there for you. Like, I will be there to represent you, and that's the job of the president. You are winning. You are winning based on who gets the most votes. But that doesn't mean all of a sudden you ignore the population that didn't vote for you. Of course not. Like, as
Mm.
a president, as SGA in general, you need to stand there for everyone. Now, how would I make for the ones that didn't vote? How would I let them know?
Yeah.
I think honestly, some people actually do know that SGA. Like, we all of us did our best to inform everyone from every platform. that there is SGA elections. So I think everyone wants to know. Not everyone wants to know. Everyone knows kind of
Hmm.
because like they are on social media. They do know that the elections are there. They
Yeah.
just choose not to vote. Some of them, that's respectable, understandable. But
Percent. Yeah.
for those people, for these people as well, I will reach out individually when hopefully when we all get back. I will reach out individually because one thing about me is that I'm very accessible from everyone, no matter where they are, no matter like where they are from, where what background, no matter like I will be there for them. I'm accessible, so I will reach out, and hopefully anything I can help them with, they will tell me.
Yeah.
That's what I count on.
We're also most probably because now we have the class of 2030 as well.
Hmm.
And with the current SGA, we already set up their WhatsApp pages, so we'll probably share this with them as well. What do you have to say to, I mean, class of 2030, not, who couldn't, who, I mean, not even just like not woke, but have no idea who this guy Panos is, and when they come in and they're going to be like, oh yeah, there's a guy named Panos and he's our president. Do you have anything to say for them?
How it's actually funny. I have a good story. When I was campaigning, I was actually trying to text individually a lot of people, letting them know that I'm running for president.
Mm.
And because like usually you might not know every single person in uni,
Yeah.
I see like this person has like 60 common followers. So I sent them because I assume this person is gonna be in uni. So I remember it was like two or three of them. They told me I'm in class of 2030. and I was and I'm saying, no way, like how did that even happen? And they already established themselves and everything, and they were actually giving me ideas of like were asking me questions of how elections look like and what I can do as a president. They were actually like with one student, I
Nice.
had a full discussion about elections.
Yeah.
But I think for the new batch, I definitely think in Hoya Welcome Week, I will introduce myself there the same way you did it for the class of 2029. There will be an activity organized by SGA, or hopefully, and this is where I will like introduce myself, the whole team, and let them know that this is your current SGA.
Yeah.
You can reach out to us anytime. But I think Hoya Welcome Week for the new batch is a big game because they are not even in uni yet. This is when they come into uni. There, you introduce yourself same way as you guys did, and I think you did a great job doing that last year in Hoya Welcome Week.
So, is there anything that you're sort of like afraid of? Like, are you afraid of messing up? Are you afraid of like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if I don't do this? Or
I'm afraid of failing the expectations. You know how many messages I got when I won saying like you won, you better do good now. Like of course in a joking way, but there is expectations I believe because I set up these expectations. So my biggest fear, man, would be that I won, and then they said, and then people after I throughout the year, people would say this guy won for nothing. Like he did nothing that he promised, or like he wasn't a good president. He wasn't a good representative. Because this stays, and I wouldn't want that because that's the whole point of running. So that would be my biggest fear that I don't do my job well. Essentially,
yeah,
I don't do what I promised. Like just disappointing the community.
no, and look, that's a valid fear for anyone who not just for this, but like anything in life. You get selective or something. You want to make sure that you fulfill whatever expectations people have. Like I think it's a natural human phenomenon, but I think we're very lucky to be in a community that as long as like again this is my experience and I'm very very grateful that people appreciate you trying, people appreciate you for listening, people appreciate you for taking out the time and doing what you could do about it. You're not gonna fulfill everything that they're gonna ask you to do. Some things just cannot be done, but I think the only way would they like this is my experience. Yours could be very different. The only way where they actually sort of see that, okay, you've not fulfilled your expectation, is if they don't see you actually like trying or doing something about it, right? The minute you stop trying yourself or you give up on yourself, that's when people like just give up on you as a person.
I
So it all starts with you, I guess.
I agree with you, but I do have a question for you as well on that sense. So let's say they see someone, and you were a president, so you know better. Let's say people see you trying, and
Hmm.
like they see you actually putting in the effort,
Yeah,
but then somehow results are not there, or the expectation still like it would be this person tried, but he couldn't make it. So
100%.
are you? Did you face that problem as well during being a president that you got like characterized by this stigma technically?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And I can assure you, like, I can assure you, it will happen over the course of next year to you as well, and it will happen the year after that. It will happen with everyone. It will happen to anyone who's set out to do something that you cannot always, no matter how hard you try, no matter whatever alternative route you're trying to find, like something just don't happen. When homecoming happened, we did everything we could to make sure it doesn't get canceled, right? To like we both Yasmin and I, like we even went all the way to CMU. We met with the CMU dean. We did everything we could, right? It didn't happen. There's a part of it that I think it frustrates you a lot, because there will be times where the information that you have, or the things that you could see, or how things are sort of playing out, that's not automatically visible to everyone, right? So in your case, you're actually trying and doing everything, but that is not sort of sent out to everyone. So people sometimes just be like, hey, Panos, you're not trying or doing anything about it, no matter how hard you're trying. And that is unfortunately a liberty that you have lost the minute you've said that you want to be president. It is honestly, like, I've spoken to so many people about it, and all just said the same thing, like, it is what it is, right? That person nominated and elected you to the position, and they have the right to come to you and be like, Panos, I voted you for this, you're not doing this, right? You can go on and justify and explain, like, no, like, I'm trying, I emailed this, but they have the right to remain with their complaint. And it is hard, it is tough, because there will be times where you have actually tried, you've tried every door possible, you've given them as much support as you could, and it does not happen. I think the thing a smart individual does then is to not let that thing hold on to it, like, in the sense that you just give up and be like, you know what, I can't do anything. And no, you admit your defeat, like, I'm sorry, I could not do anything about it, and you move on. You can't sort of. I remember after homecoming, like, I spoke to Yasmin and Dean Ken about it. Like, I was devastated after homecoming. Like, honestly, I wanted to give up. I jokingly said to Dean Ken, like, you know what, like, at this point, you guys are gonna make me, like, write my resignation letter. Like, you're not letting me do anything, right? It got canceled 2 days before we had everything done, but I just realized, like, okay, you just gotta accept defeat and move on. Like, you have, I don't know, back then I had like 7 more months of presidency. So I guess, like, that's one thing you would have to do a lot. That sometimes, look, okay, I tried, I failed, I still have 5 more months. I still have 520 other students that have something. So just, unfortunately, one, you can't give up now. Like, you don't have the liberty, no matter how tired or how many defeats you're going through again and again, because you can only stop when your office, like, tenure ends. That's when, if someone is coming to you with the complaint, you have the liberty to be like, you know what, I'm not going to do anything about it. Up until that, bro, you can't. Like, no matter how bad you're feeling that day, no matter how sad or stressed out you are, unfortunately, you've just lost that liberty. But it keeps you going. It's a good thing. It's a blessing in disguise, because it actually makes you, you know what, let me open my laptop again. Let me actually try to do this at least. The best thing to have after a defeat is, like, another opportunity to do something else. So it will happen. It will happen. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It will happen. It has happened to me. It will happen to you. It will happen to everyone who comes after it. But it's a part of the Georgetown experience. That's what they keep on telling me.
what about the communication, Ali, when it comes to staff? Like how, like you make like homecoming as well. It's something that people want a lot, but somehow in the end
Yeah.
got cancelled.
Yep. Yep.
So like, what as a president, what do you think is a good recommendation for someone that is newly elected to
Mm.
do in order to keep the communication with staff, not only with students, but with staff? Because as a president, you are the intermediary, I believe. So should the president do in terms of like communication with staff members so the things actually happen in the uni?
See, the thing is, homecoming is a very extraordinary circumstance because it wasn't canceled by our staff. It was canceled by
Oh,
CMU. So very very different scenario. That's why we really lost any leverage we had because CMU is not going to listen to the
yeah.
students at Georgetown, right? In the scenario, like there's something that really you want to happen, and the staff is not letting it happen. You actually like the way I look at it is like you have to play the cards that you're dealt with, and then you have to come up with the best possible thing that you could do then. Okay, so it's I'm very very blessed that our staff on campus is very reasonable in, I would say, in generally in overarching scenario they are very reasonable. They, when they're saying no, it has a strong reasoning behind it. So I would always approach everything first with the staff. Like, okay, you walk in and you hear them out like completely, okay? And usually by then, if the no, it is usually a convincing, like, okay, no, this is actually a plausible reason that this is not happening, okay? And then it is your job to translate and spread that message appropriately so there aren't any misinformation or communication between communities. That is a problem that we've tried our best to solve last year. So there aren't any rumors like, oh, this is not happening because of X, Y, and Z. This is not happening because there's another Hevarat conference. No, like I think that is a very toxic part about our community. And last year, honestly, it was far less fights on WhatsApp, far less overall, and that is only if everything is communicated properly. You tell them as it is, and honestly, our community is filled with college kids who are rational enough to understand, okay, this is not going to happen because of this. The benefit from that is then you can have alternatives. Then you can actually keep the conversation going and, okay, this is not going to happen like this. Why can't we do through this? Why can't this be an alternative? How do we actually solve the problem? For example, there's been a lot of conversation recently between like students and administration on the policy of donations and funding and charities, right? Every student government wants to come in and do a charity week. We want to do it. We want to do it. Why don't we do it? The problem is why don't we do it is because it's a very complex policy, okay, by the administration. But because we've constantly engaged with that why aren't we doing it? It is now going to the point where it's no longer just an answer, look, it's a complex policy, but okay, yeah, why is it a complex policy? Where the administration themselves want to figure it out if there is a way where they can do something about it, right? That is the end goal as SGA, that the communication between the students and the administration allows them to understand what issue is actually serious or is actually worth looking into, and that will help have enough people on board to revisit some policy that needs to be changed. That's honestly the end goal for student government, and that is only possible if there is clear communication. The more you leave that space open for students to have their own assumptions about things, the more it rises to misinformation, the more it rises to gossip, the more it rises to something taken way out of context, way out of proportion. If you can limit that, then I would say that is one of the main functions of student government. It's been done properly, that you've managed to limit those. And I believe with each and every year passing by, GUQ is getting very much better than that. It's getting very, very much better. GUQ Engage is fantastic. It has really helped really slow down the culture of WhatsApp. And overall this year we saw like WhatsApp conversations were so much better, far less toxic, far less personal, far less ad hominem in nature, and they were active, they were being utilized in the manner it should be utilized, and I really hope it's the same next year, for you as well, and it could be done with accurate information on accurate times, because you never
Perfect. That's good.
space open.
I think that's good to know, and I agree with you in terms of, especially in terms of like toxicity on campus. It's something that we faced a lot. When I was a freshman,
Mhm.
it was like a very big thing, but over the years it has actually went down like incredibly, and I'm really happy to see that, honestly. That there is more peace and communion
Yeah.
in Georgetown, it's especially in a small campus like this. It's really nice to see that.
And I think you guys have a massive. I mean, it's added pressure for you guys specifically in general, because it could go either ways. Because you're coming back from online, you have more and more people who are going to be more excited for actually going to events and doing things, right? Who actually want to take part in stuff. It could go very nice that you have a lot of turnout and you have a lot of people showing up to events. It could go horribly wrong as well, where people are like, why isn't he doing enough? Why isn't this happening? Because if you have more and more people wanting to join, the expectations keep on getting higher. So it is a much bigger reward because you have a community that wants to engage and wants to go, but it's also much higher risk because now they just are probably going to expect so much more.
Agreed. Let's see. Let's see. I'm excited, honestly, man. I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen.
It'll be
And yeah,
no, man. I wish you the very best, because I mean outside of this, we're still friends. We will continue to stay friends, even though I'm leaving. I won't get to see how good you perform as president, but like I have immense faith in you. Honestly, I've said it before in the campaign as well. Out of the oh, I forgot to tell you this. When I first joined as president back in September, a question that was asked to me by Dean Kent and Uday was, how would you measure if if you've done a good job as president? And my answer was, by if the person who's going to be next is, one, the election is going to be competitive, and two, the person is a person of good quality. Because to me, that would show, if it's competitive, that means I've done enough for people to actually consider the position, like, hey, I actually want to do this. This seems like a great thing. And the quality of the person who succeeds is that someone of a quality that shows like, oh, okay, it was him, and then after that it was not like it's Hugh Panos. So and I've checked both of those boxes. I'm very happy that you got elected as president, and I'm very, very happy that the quality in the campaign as well, the quality in all four candidates. Honestly, I know you're my friend, but if any would have won, like, to me, I would have been really happy. So no, man, thank you so much for joining this. I wish you nothing but the best. We will meet off camera where we will talk about a lot of other things. But I have my handover meeting with you. I think the SGA is planning to meet all of you guys, the current SGA, the new SGA, in, I would say, next week, Tuesday. We haven't decided on a date yet, but I think that's going to be fine. And I will be heading back to Doha for my grad. So if I see if you're there, if I see any SGA member there, I'll obviously stay in touch with you guys. So I guess that's it, Panos.
thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of GQ Speaks. We hope you've gained valuable insights and inspirations from our conversation today. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to follow us on our Instagram page at GQ_speaks, and be sure to leave a review on Spotify to show your support.